Three best friends.
All right.
I wanted to join in, but then I was just going to see who was the first person to start the slow clap. Always like to see that person burn.
No.
It was Ralph this time.
Look at us. We're on the road.
We're on the road again. We have a nice little setup. They upgraded us. We were supposed to be in a regular hotel room, and they put us in a suite. Why'd they do that, James?
Because you checked in, and they gave me and you one bed because they thought we were lovers.
Yes. I thought you were going to say something about how famous I was, but yeah.
Oh, no, it was just a clerical error.
Yeah, so we're in a suite. It's very cute. Ralph almost fucked it up last night. We got in a huge fight.
Yeah, Ralph was a menace to society.
Can we describe what happened?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we came in. We were all intoxicated, and we were just having a nice, friendly, fun time. And then
Were you blacked out, Ralph? Were you blacked out? Drunk?
No, not drunk. High.
Yeah.
I was higher than a kite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then things started to really spiral.
Whenever you put that oil on I just get too high that I don't even. It's just too high.
Yeah, because there's not
even fun. It's fun for me.
It must have been real hard on you because you ran around for 4 hours torturing us.
Yeah, well, sometimes you guys get what you deserve.
Well, let's start from the beginning. We have a suite, so it's a living room, and then in the other room is our bedroom where James and I snooze. Yeah. And then Ralph and Turbo are staying across the hall in another bedroom.
And they fucked up our room because we normally would have wanted one bed.
Then they gave us two.
They gave us two fucking beds.
So what'd you guys do?
We pushed them together.
Pushed them together. You made an Alaskan king.
Yeah.
Smart boys.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The biggest ones.
Yeah.
Have
so
you
then
seen
your
an Alaskan
little
king
salmons
before?
can
No.
touch.
Oh, they're fucking massive.
Really?
Yeah, you can have a whole family on it and never have to talk
What's
to
the
your
difference
wife.
between an Alaskan and a California?
Alaskan's bigger.
Yeah, but me and Ralph prefer to sleep on twins.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we'll cut the bed in half and then throw half of it
We've
away.
deconstructed bunk beds before to make it fit our lifestyle.
I also just imagined you guys sleeping on 10 pairs of twins, like the human.
Children? Yeah, I only sleep on twins. They have to be fraternal, not identical.
It took us 6 years to find this many
It's
twins.
a guy and a girl that are twins, just holding hands, scared, with the weight of you crushing them.
It's a weird Craigslist ad. Looking for grown-up twins to sleep on.
Nothing weird, just tired.
No funny business. Need sleep.
So we came into the room last night. We ordered food on Grubhub, which was a mistake because in Appleton they only have one Grubhub driver, and it said your Taco Bell will be there in 78 minutes.
Yeah,
which I didn't know minutes got up that high.
Yeah,
for Taco Bell. They stopped at 60 and then they go back
turn
to
into
1.
hours. Yeah, it's supposed to turn into hours at that point.
And then they gave us $60 worth of Taco Bell.
Yeah,
with no sauce.
Which, God, if you listen to our podcast, you know how upset that makes me.
Oh yeah,
food needs sauce.
James is
it's
a sauce
too
boy.
Fucking dry.
He's a sauce man for sure.
I'm a sauce man.
And we're hanging out, we're eating, we're having fun, we're shooting some paper wrapped up into trash cans, yelling Kobe, and the night's going really well. And then the weed kicks in, and Ralph starts to throw gummy bears at people.
Yeah. A lot of gummy bears very aggressively at people.
He's chucking them at people. And then we get a little scared, and it starts to get past midnight, and James and I are pretty tired, and Ralph is still running around doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I think you fell on the ground.
No.
James
tackled me.
You were tackled to the ground.
That's because you were on my bed bleeding.
No,
that was
no,
after,
no. It was after.
After
It was
he got
first.
tackled.
Yeah.
That's why I was bleeding.
Yeah, that's
and then
what
I went into your bed because I didn't know where to go. I was like a scared dog on a freeway, and I found a comfy little pillow and cardboard box I could sleep on.
No, bullshit. You went missing, and whenever Ralph disappears and is really quiet, you know something bad's happening. He's doing something if you don't have eyes on him. He's like a toddler, and I looked in the bedroom, and he's trying to hack into my computer.
Yeah, you were
Really?
You were on his
you were-
laptop.
Oh yeah.
Typing things, and then you got up, and we were just doing other stuff for 10 minutes, and then James came back to the room and was like, ew, what the fuck is that? And there was just a blood stain on his sheet, and you still, I told you not to, I said it was Ralph, and you still moved the sheets around and remade the whole bed
Well, we weren't sure it was Ralph's blood until we found Ralph bleeding.
in a corner.
Well, you know, that's what
But it
happens.
was a trap because when Ralph gets too quiet, he's up
Yep.
to
No good.
naughty things, and it was a trap. He bled on your bed, and then we were distracted by that, so we were trying to fix your bed and hide the blood.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, James heard Ralph crinkling plastic
wrappers.
in the other room.
Yep.
And he runs in the other room, and Ralph is eating all of James's Reese's
Peanut butter cups. And Reese's peanut butter cups are my favorite little treat. And this motherfucker had all 4 discs of a king size peanut butter cup in his mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's licking his
like the
mouth.
fat kid in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory drinking from the river. I almost pushed you into a tube to get sucked into the furnace.
He's licking his lips right now. There's no remorse.
No. I do.
You do what?
Well, then say you're sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
did not mean to eat all of your Reese's peanut butter cups.
The worst part about it was you shoved all of them into your mouth so you could just hear like, and it was like real sticky and gross. And then you swallowed it, and James went, "Come on, man." And then you said, dude, they didn't even taste good.
Yeah. And
Like-
now I'm sick.
Made it
And you
worse.
said, I'm sick. I ate too much candy.
That's my
and then
boy.
and he tried to hide the wrapper, like so I wouldn't find it, and I would just like forget they ever existed.
Did it work?
Nope, I was pretty pissed.
He was so mad. You could tell when James is mad because he'll laugh off a lot of things, but I've never heard him. We went into the other room, and I shut the door, and James was laying down like with his arms across like he was the Undertaker. And then it was really quiet, and then he just said, "Guy's a monster."
Well, I mean, sometimes you have fun with friends. It's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a silly
Well,
night.
and then he kept torturing us from the other room in our beds, and so you got up and locked him out.
Well, because so Ralph opens our door really quickly and fires off 4 more gummy bears.
Yeah.
And they hit James. And then I close the door, and he opens the door again and fires off a few at me. And they hit my back really hard.
It hurt.
Yeah, they hurt really hard. It was like a fucking paintball. And then he went to get more, and I shut the door, and I noticed there was a little lock on it. I didn't think there was,
no.
and I clicked it, and James and I were laughing so fucking hard, dude.
Yeah, he's out there rattling the doorknob, rattling it like a fucking horror movie.
We heard you shaking it, and we couldn't stop laughing.
In all fairness, he was like a soldier, like holding a Gatling gun, and I was just handing him the ammunition.
Yeah.
Every time he went to go get more ammo, I was just handing
Yeah.
him more gummy bears.
So we lock him out, and like legit
It's a little
half
after
hour passes. Half hour
yeah.
passes.
So when we lock the door, it's a little after midnight.
Right.
Okay, but in all fairness, in California, that's 10 p.m.
But we had been up since fucking 4 a.m.
That's also a valid point.
Yeah, it's worse for you. And so we hear the rattle of the door, and then it finally stops, and a half hour goes by, and James and I are just watching TV, and we heard the door close because he pretended to leave the hotel room.
They fake left the
Yeah.
hotel room.
Fake left it the first time. We hear the door close.
Hid in the darkness of the living room in the suite.
I was going to open our bedroom door to see if they were still there, and James whispers, "Don't do it."
Don't. I fucking knew you were still there. I knew you fake left. I knew you were hiding in the darkness. I fucking know it. And Sam's like, they left. There's no fucking way. And he's like, I'm going to open it. I was like, if you open it, we're as good as dead. We're as good as fucking
Oh,
dead.
dude, we were waiting.
Yeah.
We were seething.
I literally closed the blackout curtains,
Yeah.
turned out all
It
the
was
lights.
So black.
Yeah,
It was pitch black.
I know because I fucking turned on my flashlight for my phone and I looked under the door for toes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anything.
It was the scaredest I've been in a long time because
Yeah.
it was like a horror movie with is the monster still outside?
Even I got scared at a certain point because I looked over and I saw the shadow of the equipment case at the door, and I thought Ralph was sitting there, curled up, going back and forth
the
like
equipment
this.
case, the shadow it makes it look like it's a little Babadook standing in the middle of the
But
room.
I
I was
literally
scared.
thought Ralph was just going to be sitting there cowering, and I was like, did he really? At that point, I got scared because now I'm trapped in the dark room with the monster.
monster.
So
with the beast. that I've been encouraging all night.
Yeah.
So Samuel
You've been good
goes.
to the beast. He wouldn't attack you.
Samuel goes, I have to know if they're out there. I have to look. I have to open the door. And I goes, don't you fucking dare open the door.
Badass.
And I came up with pretty much the best idea that anybody's ever had.
It was one of the funniest reveals.
You guys were laughing so hard.
It was so fucking. There were layers to how funny it was.
Bro, I was crying in my bed when this happened.
James was choking.
You
couldn't fucking laugh anymore, dog. He was like having a heart attack. James goes,
yeah,
Call-
because he's like, you wanted to open the door.
I was about to open it. My hand was on the thing. And James goes, just call his cell phone.
Call his cell phone. If he's in the other fucking room, we'll
is so
hear
funny.
it ring.
I never, ever have my phone on ring.
I know.
It's always silent or vibrating.
That's what I
always.
So
That's
we
what I
turn
thought.
off the TV. And we get
I
really
knew.
quiet. And we get really quiet. Sam's ears to the door and shit. And he calls your phone, and I hear like the right on Sam's end. And all of a sudden, from the other ring, it's like ding dong dong ding 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 ding.
It was turned all the way up for some reason.
From the
loud.
other
It's never all the way up.
from the darkness of the other room, and I hear Ralph go like, "Oh fuck!"
And then we made eye contact and just started laughing in the dark.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
my
Ralph
god!
goes, oh fuck, he's calling me.
Oh fuck! He's calling me, and we start fucking laughing so goddamn hard.
Wait,
and
how long did you wait to open the door?
We never opened it
didn't
till
know
this
that.
morning.
How long did you wait that you were going to do? Was it half an hour?
It was easily half an hour later. You guys were laying on the floor. I don't know what you were doing in here. Pitch black.
The funniest thing is, after the phone rang and after we laughed and after Ralph knew that we got caught, he looks at me and goes, "Do you think they know?"
I fucking knew. I knew the whole time. There's no way they left. This is a
And then
trap.
we tried to make believe that we left
Another
two times
time.
after
Two more
that.
times.
Yes,
Yeah.
two more
Because
fake doors.
But it started too because we just started hucking gummy bears at the door, and then Ralph throws a fucking Coke can aggressively.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
to make sure they knew that you're not safe.
I was just playing. I was like, how do horror movies work? Because we're in one right now, and I knew you were still there, and I knew the phone would work. And then I go, hey, Sam, something's going to hit the door in about 3 minutes. Be ready. And then the fucking Coke can splatters against the door.
The fact that it was like 12:45 when the phone rang, and it was super funny. I fell off the bed. I was laughing so hard, and then I got back in bed, and I was like, okay, they're for sure gonna leave now. And then you guys closed the door again to pretend leaving.
Yeah.
I thought you really left, and then we just left the TV on, and I think it was like 1:30 or 1:40, and all of a sudden James and I just hear the door close again. And we just started laughing all over again.
Yeah.
Because we just kept saying, how long have they been there?
I fell
it
asleep.
had been an
I
hour.
legit fell asleep
An
on the
hour.
ground
I had
because
to
was
wake him
waiting
up
there.
to go back to bed.
Hey, buddy, we gotta go.
We were terrified because you were legit after us. You
And
were
then
after us. You
my-
were trying to get us, and I don't know what you were going to do if you did.
This is my favorite thing that ever happens. He's a monster and he sees red when we're all together. And then when he comes back to my room, he goes from being that water-covered gremlin to the sweetest sweet boy on the planet.
Well,
He
fucking.
goes-
back in my little
He
cocoon.
comes
Yeah.
back to our room and he goes, "Okay, you ready for good nights?" And we go to bed and sleep wonderfully.
we slept terribly
We
because
closed
we
our
were
eyes. Literally,
terrified.
when we closed our eyes, we're asleep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
really cool that you guys slept well. Cause
Sam
I
had
told,
a fucking nightmare.
I had a nightmare. I told James about it in the morning. I had a fucking nightmare where I thought it was real. I in my nightmare, I woke up and I finally opened the door to see if you guys were still out there. And there was a futon in the living room for some reason. Turbo was sleeping on it. And I went to wave to Turbo, and all of a sudden a string went over my head and started to choke me. And it was little Ralph fucking strangling me.
Did you know it was me? How'd you know it was me?
I saw your hands.
And that's how we get you.
My other recognition.
Nightmare.
Yeah, your fingers
Nightmare.
look like little pigs in a blanket.
Oh
Ralph.
my god.
Ralph gives us nightmares,
And he choked me out, and I was reaching for you and Turbo,
and I'm just sleeping.
and you guys were both sound asleep, and I died.
Wow.
Oh no,
No, that's a lot like
But in reality, I would have woken
Nightmare
up
on
and
Elm
gotten,
Street. That's Nightmare on Elm Street right there. Scary stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. Another funny part was you guys keep bringing up ammo and your little base. So when we walked out, Ralph had 2 of the cushions like pushed together like a chair and the ottoman, and that was his little nook, and he was sleeping there. And then his ammo was 4 gummy bears on top of each other.
A pile of
just
gummy
waiting.
bears.
Like it was the cutest little stack of
Dude,
gummy
you would
bears.
have got messed up if you opened that door last night.
I know. Thank God James said don't.
Yep.
Thank God he came up with the brilliant cell phone trick of 2020.
Yep. It'll live in infamy.
All right, what's our word? This is a Secret Clubhouse podcast where we take a word from our audience and we use it as the theme for the rest of the episode. Today's secret password is
Airports.
airports. We travel a lot. We go through airports a lot. We had difficulty coming here. I was already in Appleton, Wisconsin, and you guys were meeting me, and I got a text message that you guys were very sad because if you're watching this on YouTube, we have 3 huge heavy bases for the microphones, and we used to have 4.
Yep.
But now what happened, Turbo?
They stole
the reveal.
They stole
TSA
it.
stole our base because they accused Turbo.
They accused me of bringing a deadly weapon onto a plane.
Yes, a bludgeoning device, as they so put it.
Yeah.
That's what they said?
They were like, you could bludgeon someone with that, and I was like, with that?
It's a microphone stand base, so it's like a 4-pound, probably lead weight that you set your microphone stands
Yeah, it's
on.
a fucking flat.
And
And they let me keep the fucking actual stand, which is more of a weapon.
Yeah, way more of it. It looks like a little billy club. But they took your little rock, pal.
Dog, it was a fucking power trip.
It was a
'Cause
power trip.
James had one also, and the guy he talked to, the TSA agent that he talked to, let him go through, and then you got a piece of shit, and he took your stuff, which fucking sucks, because everything, if it's not an actual weapon, anything can be a weapon. Like, if you don't think I could take a scarf and strangle a fucking pilot, you're out of your mind, okay?
Yeah.
It's insane that they took that away from you.
And I knew the first second because I just try and kill everyone with kindness. First, when I give my ID, she was like, "That's a great photo," because my DMV photo is just me smiling. I'm like,
Yeah, that's why they thought you were going to bludgeon someone.
and then
This guy's happy at the DMV.
This guy-
He's a fucking psycho.
yeah, this guy's fucking stoked to be getting his license. And then I went through and I was like, "Hey, I hope you guys are having a good day." And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's a great day." And I'm like, "All right, all my stuff's gonna be gone."
I'm as good
The
as
zone.
I'm as good as. Yeah, it
Imagine
really sucks
going-
that they stole our microphone base, man. It's
They're
really
expensive.
unnecessary. It's really unnecessary to take something and just claim it can be used as a weapon. What the?
But
the fuck?
actually-
maybe, I'm sure they had the reasons.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like my setup. I
Wait.
kind of like my setup now.
That's because the end of your microphone is touching your wiener.
That is true.
Hey, everyone, did you guys just hear Ralph?
Yeah, he sided with TSA, and I'm pretty upset about it. Ralph
happened?
always tries
I
to be a
didn't do
little.
Do you have an uncle who's TSA or something?
Pineapple.
Safe word.
Pineapple.
Dude, he walks in and fucking hits us all with a
A microphone stand.
I've been working undercover with TSA this whole time.
Yeah, we. So that was a really kind of bummer, weird start to our adventures.
It's super shitty. These are expensive, and it's our fucking job to use them. It sucks. I can't even imagine trying to bludgeon somebody with one of these. Even if I went to do it, I'd probably miss and just set it on a table and then start my podcast.
That would be like me going to the TSA agent and taking his Velcro badge off.
Yeah, you
Anything.
could Velcro somebody's eyeballs out.
Yeah.
A shoe, whatever.
Yeah, the urge to murder somebody with this would be overridden by your urge to podcast.
Honestly, if I had the urge to murder someone with that, I shouldn't be going to the airport.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
The deed would have been done elsewhere.
Yeah, at the microphone stand store, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, if anybody listening wants to buy Turbo a Christmas gift, he needs a microphone stand.
Yes, please donate. That is a really funny point that you bring up. Why would you not just kill somebody with this? Why would you pack it, travel, and go to a different city to use this to kill someone?
I would have killed our Uber driver for taking surface streets to the airport.
Yeah, that was a surprise as well.
We were running late, and she takes the fucking surface streets.
Really didn't need to. We drove. I looked at the freeway. It was wide open.
It was wide open.
Yeah, it was
She
bizarre.
took these surface streets,
Strange.
all the way to LAX.
This is what happens when you let your life go into other people's hands. You know what I mean?
Uber drivers have been causing a little disturbance in our lives lately. The three of us had an Uber driver that took us to the airport. Ralph, you didn't come. It was a couple weekends ago, and it was this bald dude, and he was wearing tight, skinny jeans, and he looked kind of hip.
Yeah.
He was like, "What's up, brothers?" Like, that was the intro, and I was
God,
like, "Oh shit!"
okay.
It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
too, so I'm not ready for like that kind of energy. And
He was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And he's like, "You guys been to Orange County recently?" And we're
boy.
like, "No." He's like, "Oh, dude, it's fucking lit over there."
Yeah, he was like, or the OC's really popping off right now. He was like, I was at a hookah bar. Those places just don't shut down.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This was
Gross.
This is why we're putting our luggage in the trunk, and we're like, "Oh, we're all gonna get COVID."
Yep.
Yep.
For sure. Who'd this guy pick up before he got us?
Yeah.
And then we get in, and he's like, he's just driving, and he's like,
God.
"Yeah, I had a stripper back here a couple weeks ago. She kept listening to the same song. Fucking drove me crazy."
We didn't.
like giving us
we
random
didn't
facts.
ask either.
Yeah.
We didn't ask who was in your
course.
back seat a little while ago.
And then he was like, "Are you guys cool with music?" And we were like, "Sure," because we thought that was the polite way of saying, "Shut the fuck up, guy, and just take us to the goddamn airport."
And we also thought saying yes to music at 3 a.m. would be like, "Oh, he's gonna turn on some nice Jason Mraz."
Yeah. Turns out, hope you guys like club techno punk.
It was more than that. It was literally it was the fucking in the Matrix Reloaded when they go to the underground place to meet the Merovingian.
It was music.
Vampire
Yeah,
trance.
I was gonna say
it was
it's
literally
God.
it was
vampire
music
trance.
that's only been played in a vampire club. That's
The bass is hitting my lower back as if there is a vampire stuck in the trunk and it's trying to get out of the seats.
Oh my God.
It was like, help me, help me.
man.
It was so aggressive. And then he God blessed us 7 times.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, traveling's tough. You got to make accommodations.
Yeah, you gotta improv.
This is I was traveling with Tiff. We were coming back from Norway one time, and we were taking a train. Like on our last day, we made like a deviation. We went to this small town, and we're like, "Fuck! If we take a train, we can make it back before our flight." We had like a 5 a.m. flight or something back home. Our last night there, and so we get on this train. It puts us into the airport city at like midnight. And we're like, fuck, we're not going to get a hostel for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We got to be at the airport at 4 a.m. So we just decided to go straight to the airport. And we get
this story, and I'm just waiting for you guys.
we get there around midnight and just we're like, we got to kill 4 hours. Maybe let's try and get some sleep. So we're walking around this Norwegian airport looking for places to sleep. And there's this like giant playground. And it has this like big, like a plane. It was like a fake plane that like kids can climb up the ladder and then like walk through the plane tunnel and then like slide down the back of the plane like it's like a
Right, jungle gym shit. Yeah.
jungle
plane
gym
ground.
a plane ground. Yes,
Ralph.
and so me and it's like 1 a.m. at this point and nobody's in the airport, so I was like, let's climb up into this fucking plane and let's lay in this tube and get some sleep. And so that's the plan. We've been sleeping for maybe like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours maybe. So now it's probably like
It's a pretty good airport sleep.
Yeah,
Usually
no.
you can't get that.
Perfect hiding spot for a
And
couple.
it was dark, right?
Dark tube. It was nighttime, so everything was dimly lit.
No
Very
no
romantic.
turbulence.
Yeah.
Were you guys really close to each other when you had to
Yeah. We were like
in the tube?
Yeah,
It's for kids.
Right. It's a kids' playground thing, so we were like head to head.
Yeah.
Did you stay fully clothed or you got into like nighttime
I
wear?
was wearing like pajamas and a nightgown and
A shower cap.
whatever we were trying. Like we were like sleeping on our backpacks and shit, like
Right.
traveler stuff. And so it's like, I don't know, probably morning. My alarm's probably about to go off at like 5 a.m. To go walk to our gate, and I hear these like little giggles and like these steps coming, like these little footsteps, the pitter patter of baby feet coming up the ladder. And as these 2 little Norwegian toe-headed, blonde, blue-eyed kids pop their head into the playground that we were sleeping in, into the like the body of the plane, I like kind of startle awake, and I'm like, "Huh!" And I like sit up, and it's just my face in like the entryway that these 2 children are coming into, and they go, "Ah!" And they scream. scream and then run away speaking really fast Norwegian like Papa, Papa, man. I just hear like
Skummen Huben man.
Skuben Huben man und it's a plane. And I like look out and they're just full sprint running, crying to their parents in the fucking airport. And I just like stick my head out the door and the dad looks up and just like grabs his kid and like shuffles away. And Tiffany's like, what?
You're trying to trap him.
Dude, what if there's just like a folklore tale about me? Like, don't get separated from your parents at airports in Norway.
Yeah. Don't go to the plane ground.
Tiffany wakes up. She's like, did you just scare those children? And I was like, I just scared those children.
She's like, let's fuck in this plane ground.
This plane ground.
Did you run into him after? What'd you guys do? Did you just get your stuff and go like nothing happened?
We like waited it out for a little bit for them to go away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you ever like mess up and then you're just like, if they don't see me for like 10 minutes, it'll be like it
They'll
never
forget
happened.
about it.
Yeah. So I never forgot about it. And I'm sure those kids won't either. You know, you've seen me wake up. I'm a little grumpy Gus.
Yeah. And you look fucking, if it was any of us, they'd probably just play on us.
Yeah.
I do look like a little Norwegian troll crawling out of a dark tube.
I
look
mean,
like
you
a-
are
yeah.
freaking what? You have Viking blood in you, don't you?
I'm Norwegian, yeah.
So
Why don't you say that to them?
Come back. I'm one of you.
I am your papa.
I'm your dad now. Get in this tube.
I mean,
You fly away.
I couldn't think of anyone more scary to like as a child to like come into like your presence.
I was like this. I'm the size of the playground too.
And they
Yeah.
probably
So it's
also
like,
thought that you kidnapped Tiffany.
Yeah.
yeah. He's already. She's a little blonde hair, blue eyed gal too. So
Took a woman.
he already has one.
Yeah.
She used to be a little kid just like you guys.
Yeah.
She grew up. He needs 3 to make his magic plane work.
Tiffany just screams, "Help me!"
Scary.
I like to scare people.
I miss a lot of flights.
You do.
So actually, I this because we're running out of time. I'm gonna tell a quick one. I missed a flight going to El Paso once. I was going there. I was just in the bathroom stall, just doing my business, and
You mean shitting?
yeah, I was pooping.
No, he was doing taxes.
Ring, ring.
Doing my business.
It was a rough
so-
quarter.
Sir, I have to shit. 1 second.
So my flight was my flight boards at 1:00. It was like 12:30. I was like, I'm just gonna use the bathroom. I have plenty of time. So I'm in the bathroom for about 15-20 minutes. I kind of take my time when I'm doing it. I think about stuff, check fantasy football, check stocks, call my mom, a bunch of stuff like that. And then I walk out and there's no one in the terminal. And I walk up to the person. I was like, was it ready to go? She's like, are you Ralph Guerra? And I was like, yeah. We've been calling you for like 15 minutes. Yeah, the plane boards at 1 or at 12:30. It leaves at 1. So I
got the times wrong?
I got the times wrong. I thought it was boarding
At 1.
At 1.
Oh man,
At 1 and leaving at 12:30.
Yeah. Nightmare. That's a hard signal.
So I literally just had to sit at the airport for 2.5 hours and then catch the next flight. But
All for taking a shit.
yeah. And I was literally like, they're calling my name. I don't know why there's no speakers in the freaking bathroom.
Right. There should be.
What do you do after that when you find out? I mean, you just turn around and go to Pan Express?
I just sat down and then I was just looking at the girl because she saw me. It's a small airport. She saw me leaving the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So I sat. She's like, this kid literally was just taking a shit for 40 minutes.
Toilet paper on his foot.
Bro, if you walked into a playground and climbed into a small plane.
just became one of the freaking things that kids can jump on.
That's how they get there.
With James. You missed your flight too?
Yeah. Hey, man. Come in my tube.
I've been missing my flight for 15 years.
I've actually never missed a flight, and I feel like I should have missed a lot of them.
That's good. That's good luck.
Yeah, but I always get stopped either for my CPAP or I remember I was in Israel and I'm a little bit of a sexual deviant.
Oh wow! Usually that's not one sentence that someone says.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I get stopped for my CPAP, and then I'm a little bit of a sexual deviant.
I can't breathe, but I like to fuck.
I can't breathe well, but
What's that?
Okay, I can't
What's
see
that called
it.
when you go to Israel as a kid?
birthright. They
Birthright,
they just give them out, and I mean it's for sure like a timeshare deal where they're
Yeah.
like, hey, we're gonna give you this all inclusive trip, but then like 3 times during the trip, they put you in like a cafeteria room and they really hard sell you Israel. They're like, you should come here. And I'm
They
like,
want you to move?
Oh, they want you to move and then join the Israeli Defense Force. They want you to become an Israeli citizen. And I'm like, no, I'm good. You ever been to California?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking, there's so many Chipotles.
Yeah.
There's literally like a Chipotle between 2 Starbucks.
How many Chipotles does Israel have?
Probably a few, but not as many.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
I went on Birthright and I met at the time what I thought was the girl of my dreams. And like, dude, rad. I met this girl. She looked like April Ludgate from Parks and Rec and just miserable. Gave off those like miserable vibes. And I'm like, yep, that's it.
Is
That's
that
her.
Audrey Plaza?
Yes, except for this girl was blonde, looked nothing like her, but had the same demeanor.
Got it.
Which is like,
Yes.
I hate everything. I hate you
Yeah.
for even looking at me. And I'm
And
like,
you love that.
I love that so
Yeah.
much. If you hate everything, I love you.
Yeah.
And
I like everything.
Yeah, that's why I hate you.
Okay. Well,
I would
excuse
never-
me while I bludgeon him with this mic stand.
Yeah. TSA, Ralph?
Pineapple.
Stand down. Stand down.
Stand down.
What, you're gonna let me die?
Both. We're all gonna die here.
Literally, we get onto a bus together once we're in Israel, and we had like a security guard on the trip, and he literally had handcuffs, and I was like, those could be fun, and he was like, cool, you want them? Put them on me, and just left them dangling off my wrist, and I was like, okay, this is dumb, but I ran out of seats, and perfect timing, it was next to her, so I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna sit next to you, but I'm gonna have to handcuff myself to you. She was like, what? And I thought I was being smooth. Instead, that was like really creepy and dumb. And I ended up handcuffing myself to her, but I didn't have the keys. So we ended up being handcuffed together like all day.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Spur of the moment, it sounded like a good idea until later, like
Yeah.
6
I feel
hours
like
later when we both had to pee.
Literally only Matthew McConaughey could get away with that.
Yeah, not me. Not me
Yeah.
How'd it
sweating
go?
in Israel.
How'd it go?
Well, she hated it, and then we bonded over negativity for a whole day, and it really expedited a friendship.
Nice.
So it actually worked out. And like
Mazel tov.
as things progressed, I'm like, dude, this girl is so rad. And then I found out later that she was gay. And like that's when the signs started to piece together, because like I would be checking out a different Israeli chick, and she'd be like, yeah, she's smoking hot, and I'm like, you get me.
Yeah.
Bonded.
We ended up finding a sex shop.
So girl of your dreams turns into friend of your dreams.
A friend of my dreams. Yeah. And we ended up finding a sex shop, and I was like trying to convince her. I'm like, hey, you know, if you ever want to be with a dude, this guy.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't think you know how lesbians work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm figuring it out.
That's true.
I'm learning.
It's not the best strategy to give him the worst of us.
Right. Right. Did I mention I have sleep apnea, and I'm also a sexual deviant? And yeah,
I love
so
if you say I have sleep apnea, I'm a sexual deviant, and then you swallow the key.
and literally
Cut to her just like not being able to sleep because you're snoring.
I fucking hate this dude, and then just makes me love her more because of how miserable she is. And she ends up leaving the trip early because like you can extend, and I
Yeah.
extended.
Just cut her arm off.
And
Yeah. Still have it though.
Turn into a Saw movie.
she 127 houred her arm off just to fucking get away from me. And she went home, and as a joke, I was like, you know what? Because we'd stayed in touch, and she was like, I actually miss you. Like, that was so much fun. So as a joke, I bought pink fuzzy handcuffs to like honor our friendship and like how that started. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy like one of those vibrators that like you can control.
Yeah.
You know, so like in case she ever was like, hey, let's have some fun, whatever. And I go through the airport, and I'm like running late for my flight.
Yeah.
And I put it in my carry-on, and I get flagged immediately. And they march out 8 IDF soldiers. So it's all these, and they're all girls wearing and they're all smoking hot too.
Yeah.
And they're all holding guns, and they all surround me, and they're going through my bag, and they just pull out pink fuzzy handcuffs. And literally, it was like 2017. It was way earlier than that. It was like 2015, 16. Pull out a fucking mold of a dick with a wire on it, and it had like a little button to it, and it looked like a dick bomb. I looked like the world's gayest terrorist, and like trying to finagle my way out of it. Like, hey, I got a flight to catch. You know, like I know it looks really bad, but I swear it's for me. You ever flown for 19 and a half hours? and didn't miss my flight. But
Did they take it?
Did they?
they took that and the pink fuzzy handcuffs.
What?
But me pleading with soldiers that I need my handcuffs and vibrator was just a visual that I will never forget. And I'm sure the 8 people behind me will never forget. They'll be like,
Yeah, that story is scarier than me in a plane in a Norwegian airport.
yeah, when they're putting my CPAP back into my backpack, and then they're confiscating.
2 children run away screaming, "Papa!"
They run back to the playing ground.
The playing ground.
So yeah, I've never missed a flight.
Whoa, that's crazy.
What about you, Samuel?
All right, see you guys.
Alrighty.
That was the Secret Clubhouse podcast.
You don't want to tell one?
No, we don't have time.
Okay.
I just like your stories a lot.
It's already 35.
I just like your stories. Do a quick one.
I don't have a great one.
Just do a quick one.
Okay, I was on a plane once, and we went to our destination, and it was just like the smoothest. TSA let me keep all my shit, and I was like, "Are you guys sure I can bludgeon people with all this stuff if I wanted to?" And they were like, "Fucking no, take it." I was
Literally
like,
bringing a dagger. I don't know.
"Yeah, I have a dildo dagger."
Oh, he flew Frontier.
Come aboard.
Okay, here's a quick story. I was on a flight, and this crazy lady boarded the flight, and then she had a cat in a bag. And yeah,
The end.
yeah, that was it. She had a cat in a bag, and she forgot her ID at the Starbucks in the airport, and she yelled at the stewardess, "Can I get off the plane and go get my ID, please?"
Right.
And the lady was like, "Fine, ma'am, you have to be really, really fucking quick."
Right.
And she was like, "Okay," and she's sitting next to me, so she threw her cat at me. And the bag
Hold my
landed.
cat.
Yeah, she said, "Please hold my cat." And I was like, "That's the first time anyone's ever said that to me."
Bro, if she never came back, you just have to raise that cat.
I know. I just fucking open the emergency exit and let it loose. Put a parachute on it.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye.
That was a great cat falling out of an airplane.
yeah.
Because it was almost a meow, but it was a bye.
It just doesn't know how to pull the chute though.
And the funniest part was there was 2 New Yorkers in front of me, like stereotypical.
Yeah.
One guy, the dad, and
Eating
and
a
the
pizza.
son. Yeah, just talking about rigatoni.
One guy's in a cab and driving a taxi cab.
And,
I'm driving here.
And it's the dad, and he has slick back hair, and the son has the same exact haircut.
Yeah, they're both
And they
splitting
both
a
have
calzone.
Yeah, sleeveless shirts on this flight.
It's Michael Dice Clay. Is
Yeah.
it Andrew Dice
Andrew
Clay.
Dice Clay, yeah. And they go, the dad turns around, he's like, "Man, what the fuck is up with that lady, huh? Just throwing her cat at you?" And he's like, "Let me see that thing." And I like lifted the bag scared, and he was like, "Man, that's the ugliest cat I've ever seen." And then he turned around and kept combing his hair. The fawns. And then
The fawns.
the funniest part was his little kid was like 8 years old. He stood up on the seat and turned around, and he's like, "Let me see that." And then I showed it. He was like, "Whoa, that's an ugly cat." And then he started combing his hair. I thought I was like in the fucking Happy Days episode.
It's the weirdest remake of the movie Twins.
And then the lady finally came back, and she took the cat, and her hair's like crazy, and she just looks totally out of it, and she just looks at me, and she's like, "You probably hate sitting next to me, huh? It's gonna be a long flight for you."
What if she came back and like grabbed it from you and you just didn't say shit? And she's like, "What's the matter? Cat's got your tongue."
I wish she tried to take it from me, and I wish at the time I had more courage and went, "It's my fucking cat."
This is my cat. Who are you?
my cat. Get
her
out
out of here. Bludgeon her.
New
Use a
Yorkers.
mic stand.
The little 8-year-old. "Come on, you coming with me?" Yeah,
Shit.
that was the whole story. She was annoying.
The whole story is she was annoying.
I was the 8-year-old boy the whole time. And yeah, she
I was
really
the
annoyed. She really annoyed me and my dad.
It is sometimes weird how like frequently strangers are willing to put their shit on you.
Yeah.
Like this was like a small thing, but like just the willingness to like hand a stranger a cat, like it's not overstepping boundaries, but it also is at the same time.
Yeah, the craziest thing is if she didn't have a cat and she had a son, and that same scenario played out, and
Yeah,
she missed her flight.
the son was in a little cage bag.
You're now the proud parent of her kid.
Yeah.
Right.
In whatever city you had. to
Half
go to.
cat, half boy.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I really don't like when people put stuff on me. I didn't like her doing it, but it was a live animal, so I didn't want to be mean. But I really fucking hate when I hate when you're sitting on the flight and then somebody has their jacket on their lap and like the arm of the jacket is resting on your knee. Shit drives me crazy, dude. I try to do things like I'll do quick movements, so I'll go like spread both my arms really fast, like an angry penguin.
I know we're going long, but I fucking hate planes. I fucking hate them. I hate strangers. It's weird to say. It's like a grown man to call people strangers.
Yeah.
But like, I hate strangers. I don't want to be touched by them. I don't want to be near them. No offense.
How do you think they feel when they have to sit next to you?
The same. But
no, but the thing is, I never put my arm or anything on people. And I don't think James does either.
I wrap up like a little tortilla.
Yeah, I'm always cross. I always like put my knees together, like a proper bitch. And I just don't think people are doing that. Like there's still somehow their hair gets on me.
People have a issue with personal space, and they don't know how to respect personal space, and that's why I fucking hate airplanes.
People are gross. Have you ever been on a flight where they have the screens on the back of the seat and then somebody in front of you has long hair and they put it over the screen, so now you're watching it through this fucking this forest of dandruff?
Yeah, but you're rude if you ask them to fucking put their hair up.
I would just take out my beard scissors and just snip their fucking ponytail off.
Yeah, I tried to push it once, and then
it's going to Locks of Love now.
The girl was like, "Can you stop touching my hair?" And I was like, "Can you please take your hair and like keep it with you?" And then she was like, "It falls where it falls." And I was like, "You have split ends anyways." All right, everybody. This was a great show. That was a great show. We did a great job. The Secret Clubhouse podcast. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Wednesday. Also now on YouTube and tour dates. Just follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We post all of our dates coming up. And have a happy New Year and a happy holiday. We love you guys.
I was just thinking about you. She won't pull her hair back, and you're like, "Fine, bitch," and you unleash a cat on her. Say hi to my cat.
Instead of the oxygen thing, I push a button and just a bunch of cats fall.
Love you.
Bye.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends. We're the three best friends.